now time for Interactive. Be sure to follow us on X at SportsMax Zone, for Instagram and YouTube, our handle, SportsMax TV Live. Watch, like, comment and share, and we'll react to your questions and comments during the show. While we're still talking football, the Jamaica Football Federation announced early on Tuesday that Xavier Gilbert will continue as interim Reggae Girls head coach for their next international break set for November. Here's Gilbert's response when asked if he'd take up the permanent role.
Something that I'd have to consider. I mean, I've headed at all junior levels before being head coach at 15, 17 and 20. And my first time at the senior level. So as I say, I've been around for quite some time, but it's something that I'll assess if given the opportunity. But that's it for now.
The Reggae Girls will do battle again when they host Panama on November 29 and they play away to Guatemala on December 3. So, Ricardo, you get to give the first reaction.
Yeah, so Gilbert was actually speaking following the 2-2 draw with Guatemala at the National Stadium on Sunday, and he was asked about whether he would accept the full-time job given the fact that he'd come in at pretty short notice and done well in the qualifying matches against Panama and Guatemala. I just want to say the great thing coming out of those matches, Lance and Mariah, is that Jamaica got a point. And so here is an opportunity now that they still have their fate in their own hands, because once they win the remaining 2 matches, they will qualify for the Gold Cup. So it was a massive achievement that they were able to get that point against Guatemala. And what it means now is that the best of what we saw in the 2 qualifying matches against Panama and Guatemala, because what we learned from all of this is that Jamaica's women's football is clearly deeper, has greater depth than many of us realized or anticipated. And so the best of those girls with the very best of the World Cup squad can really take us forward, and I see no reason from here on, once the World Cup players return, that the Jamaicans shouldn't qualify for the World Cup.
Yeah,
Gold Cup. Gold Cup. Oh my God. I'm already at World Cup. Gold Cup, yes.
Yeah. Some really, really positive signs. And for me, when I saw him, the contract extension, if I'm to say so, to coach the upcoming 2 matches, it didn't come as a surprise. And, you know, I'm all for continuity. So I think exactly what he started, it would make more sense to, of course, allow him some more time with the girls. And I also don't think the JFF has a plan. I didn't expect them to have a coach ready for the next 2 matches. So I think it's a spin-off of both, if I'm to say so. And I want to give him the opportunity to prove himself in these next 2 matches.
Credit to Gilbert and the work he has done. Credit to the girls, because this is like a third-string Jamaica team with the World Cup players withdrawing their services and very little time to prepare, and the fact that they were able to avoid defeat against Guatemala and lost that tense game against the Panamanians is a good look. It just shows, as you said, Ricardo, that the quality of Jamaica's women's football goes a little deeper than most of us had thought.
Yeah, and I just want to say quickly as well, Lance and Mariah, that as it relates to the naming of a long-term coach, I personally believe it is the right thing to do with an election on the horizon not to name a long-term coach and allow the new administration, whether it's going to be the incumbent or otherwise, but whenever that new administration is put into office, for them to clean up and do that work. So I wouldn't be advising to be naming a long-term coach at this stage with an election on the horizon.
Yes. All right, so we're going to continue with our interactive segment, and Lionel Messi has been crowned the 2023 Balon d'Or winner, winning the award for a record-extending 8th time. And this is how the football fans reacted on X. Okay, so we had Matt saying, the best that there will ever be, 8th and final Balon d'Or. Dai says, Haaland robbed just like Lewandowski. Sayam, he says, no one is beating this. We won, we had the last laugh. Messi fans, the journey was worth it. Daddy Fernandez says, another robbery. Tembi says, not sure what more Haaland could have done. Playing the World Cup. Nana says, this is longevity, this is superstardom, this is greatness, this is Lionel Messi. Samuel, yes, this award should never be taken seriously again. All right. So, I could have understand all the other comments about the robbery, but not for this year, man. The man won the World Cup. It's something that hung on his head for quite some time. The fact that he had an integral part to play in the team winning the World Cup, I get it. People are upset because they feel as if he didn't contribute to PSG in the manner that he did for Barcelona.
Let me tell you what this is the equivalent of for me, right, Lance and Mariah? So this is like someone winning an Olympic or a World Championship title in track and field, and then somebody who won the Diamond League is
claiming that they should have won.
They should be Athlete of the Year. That's how I feel about this, because what Messi did on football's greatest stage to lead his team to the title, you just cannot question why this man would be given the best player for this year. Like, to me, it just doesn't make any sense that people are saying this is robbery.
My producer wants me to slip in something quick. Cristiano Ronaldo liked and laughed in the comments on a video criticizing Messi's 8th Balon d'Or. The journalist says that Messi scored 6 penalties in the World Cup and should have 5 Balon d'Ors, arguing that he took 1 from Haaland, Lewandowski, and Xavi Iniesta. Lance, you go for this one. Cristiano Ronaldo being a bit salty.
Well, Cristiano has always been competitive and is always watching Lionel Messi's success.
But the laughter and the...
I find that disappointing.
We didn't pass that
I
stage.
don't think CR7 should have acted in that way, but it's not the first time that he has. And I agree with the point Ricardo just made and the one that you said as well, that given what Messi achieved at the World Cup, it is hard to deny him. It was, not only a World Cup winning performance, but his performance in the final that capped it. It was hard for Messi not to get this award. I'm sorry for his haters.
Lance got the last word. Bye, that's a wrap.
Shake up the